Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. My name is Gina. Spiritual name is Lakshmi. It is nice to be here with you today. We are going to talk about power times for October and what they mean to you and how you could adjust some things in your life to make the most of them. It's really important because power times are times of the month, the year, the day, that give us an accelerated access to a particular type of energy. So what does that mean? If you want to accomplish, let's say, something having to do with material comforts or prosperity, there are particular days of the week, the month, the year, and even hours within the day that help to facilitate that easier, make things happen to you for you faster. Another example is if you're wanting to clear out some old patterns and really be renewed in your sense of self, your belief system, then there's times of the month and the day and the year that are more aligned with and help you to do that faster. So today we're going to talk more specifically about October and how this helps, how our energies of October can help facilitate your evolution. So let's get started. So it's the 2nd of October, and we're just coming off of a full moon. The full moon is the moon of abundance. It is giving us fullness, obviously, right? But there's something more to that fullness. It is the capacity to hold spiritual and material energy and blessings. It is also the gods and goddesses, their fullness, their full potential is reached on full moons, which means they can bless more abundantly. So as the moon phases wax and move towards a full moon, it is building up to that time, that pinnacle, that essence of fullness, of full blessings. And then once the full moon comes, we could turn into a waning phase of the moon where the moon is now losing more of the energy for prosperity, abundance, material blessings, and moving towards more silence. Dr. Pillai mentioned it recently on a webinar and how the moon is the mind, right? The moon controls the mind. So in the full moon, you're in full capacity to be manifesting, to be active. And in the new moon, the mind gets quieter. So we're actually in a phase right now where the moon is going from full to new, and that means it's moving downward. It's waxing in its ability to hold and have capacity for material blessings. Now, that's not all bad because it helps us to go inward. And we know that manifestation is from the inward to the out. It is spirit manifest. So these 2 weeks of time that we get in between, the 2 weeks that we get in the reduction of the mind activity, the reduction of the abundance, actually gives us a moment to go inward, to clear out what is preventing us from being productive, and gives us the ability to go a little deeper into our meditations, to become more clear, to become more silent, more still. And that is where we tap into our true essence, our essence of spirit, the soul, and the abundance of that nature, the abundance of our soul. So right now, we're moving out of the abundance from a physical or material standpoint and into the abundance of our deepening our connection with ourself, with our soul. And then we get to that at the end of these 2 weeks, which is the new moon. And that is the pinnacle of our inward silence, of our inward connectivity. So both of these waning and waxing moon phases have equal benefits that we really want to use and tap into. Because if you're just trying to manifest and get things done on a waning moon phase, you might meet up against some resistance, right? Especially if you're trying to grow a business or do some sort of activity that requires material support. Now, that doesn't mean you stop working for 2 weeks, right? We do our duty all the time. You just keep in mind how these moon phases can be impacting your activity and your results, right? So that's really important, especially from a business perspective. You want to make sure you're getting the right result at the right time. And just knowing this is hugely beneficial. So that's a little bit about moon phases. Next, we have stars. They're called birth stars or nakshatras, and there's 27 of them. They all have a different type of quality, about them. Dr. Pillai says, when you know your star, you can know a lot about somebody. We're all born at a particular time and place on Earth. And a particular star, one of these 27 stars, is as active, is present during our birth. That means that's our birth star. And you can go and find out what that is for you by going to astroved.com, putting in your birth details, and getting that information. I'm not going to go into the details of that. Just knowing that there's 27 of them, that they happen a day per, about every day per throughout the month, and when we are in the presence of a particular star, we get the qualities of that star. Now, the stars have a succession. They start with Ashwini, the first of the 27, and we happen to be starting with that star tonight. So we're almost aligned with the first moon phase and the first star, which is a very unique time. And this gives us really the sense of new beginnings. And this particular month is very important because towards the middle of the month, we get to what's called the 9 nights of the goddess. Now, I like to think that this alignment of the first moon and the first star is helping us to is preparing us for the 9 nights of the goddess, which is coming up on the 16th of October. So here we go. We're starting with our first star of the 27 is Ashwini, and Ganesha is very prominent in that energy of that particular star. It's a star for healing. I'm not going to get into all the details, but just so you know, we're starting the first go through of the 27 stars tonight in the US with Ashwini. So I'm going to look at I'm going to reference my calendar a few times. Today's also Friday. Fridays are particularly powerful times for Goddess Lakshmi. She is the goddess Shreem Brzee. You all know who she is. Why Fridays? Because she's the overlord of Venus, and Venus is present on Fridays. Every day of the week, there's a different planet that gives energy to that particular day of the week. Fridays are powerful for Shreem Brzee because Venus rules Friday. And Shreem Brzee is the overlord, or the god or goddess who's kind of keeping energy intact for that particular planet. There's a very close relationship between the planet and what's called the overlord, or the archetype, the god or goddess of that planet. So they share qualities. And Shreem Brzee, as you know, brings us material abundance, comforts, joy, pleasure, but also inward fulfillment. Venus, who's the overlord of Friday, brings comfort, joy, pleasurable experiences. You have to be a little bit careful with Venus. You don't want to get too wrapped up in Venus so that you stop focusing on your spiritual progress. You don't want to get so tactile and in the senses that that's all that's consuming you. So be a little careful with Venus. Yes, it's great for material comforts. It's great for abundance, but you don't want to get so wrapped up that the attachments of the material kind of and sensual pleasures take you away from your spiritual practice. But Lakshmi will keep you balanced. Lakshmi won't let you, and overlord of Venus and Shreem Brzee, she won't let you get too far deep. So that's why you want to keep her in mind on Fridays. And we call them Goddess Fridays. All the goddess energy is present. Great time to be chanting Shreem Brzee, especially during what's called horas. There's 3 times throughout the day where Venus hour, or hora, comes into play on a Friday. That means it's a double power time. Now, the more you layer these particular power times, we call them double, triple, quadruple power times, which means more energy from the moon, the star, the day, the planet, coming into alignment on that particular day, which gives it even more sense of energy, more facilitation to help you accomplish what it is you want to accomplish. So those are Fridays. Today's Friday. So Friday, Venus, Shreem Brzee. Now there's also the Venus horas, or the hours. You can also find out when they are through the AstroVed Assistant app. Go find it on whichever app store you go to. It's there. I suggest downloading it and keeping track of these particular time energies. Okay, so now we're going to, I'm not going to go through all, just referencing my calendar, I'm not going to go through all the different moon phases, days, times, just going to pull out the ones specific for Shreem Brzee, because you can go through hugely in depth with everything going on in the calendar. We're not going to do that. Now we would fast forward to the fourth moon, which happens on the 5th, which is Monday. Now, the fourth moon is for Ganesha. Why are we having to do with Ganesha on the Shreem Brzee channel? Dr. Pillai said that Ganesha and Lakshmi are always together. And we did some webinars on that and some sessions on that. So you want to know when his energy, when Ganesha's energy is present, so that you can call upon him to remove the obstacles. He is the one who's coming in with the big guns, kind of just removing obstacles in our path so that we can manifest more freely. And this happens with more ease on the fourth moons, also the 14th moons. So he's 4th and 14th moons. So again, how you find this? Your Astrobed app. And this happens on the 5th of October. So a great time to be calling upon Ganesha, asking him to remove obstacles for anything that you're trying to manifest. Now we will go to fast forward to the 11th moon, which is on the 12th of October. 11th moons are for Vishnu. He is the consort, husband of Lakshmi. So together, the Shiva Shakti, together, the male-female energy of this beautiful energy that sustains life. So in the Hindu Trinity, you have Shiva, Parvati, who destroy and remove anything that doesn't support you. Then you have Brahma and Saraswati creating a lot of creative force and energy. And you have Vishnu, Lakshmi, and they're the sustainers. They provide us anything that we need to sustain ourselves and our life on earth. So what is that? That's health, that's happiness, that's wealth, the things you need to live abundantly. So these two beings, Lakshmi and Vishnu, are here to help us with that. So his day is the 11th moon, happens twice per month. It doesn't really matter if it's waning or waxing. It's just that the 11th moon is for him. So that's happening on October 12th this month. So you just want to tune in and do a little extra prayers on that day. Now we go to the 14th, which is what's called the 13th moon or Pradosham. Now this doesn't have anything directly to do with Lakshmi, but it is a time for karma removal and release of energies that don't serve you any longer. So if you're trying to manifest and you're wanting to manifest abundance in your life, you might have some limiting beliefs that hold you back. You might have some current life or past life situations that are giving you a system of belief that are holding you from your true manifestation. This is the day where you ask the divine beings to help you remove all of that. You can roll a lime, lemon, or coconut on your body, smash it, cut it, throw it in the garbage, wash yourself up using the mantra Brzee. Dr. Pillai says you can use just simply Brzee, or you can use Tirunila-kantam. Tirunila-kantam. I know that's not a Lakshmi mantra, but if you're wanting to clear your karma in order to manifest, this is the way to do it. Tirunila-kantam on that particular day. 13th moon, waning or waxing, happens twice per month. It's typically 2 days before the new moon or before the full moon, if you want a kind of easy reference for when this 13th moon happens. And even if you can't do a ritual, simply chanting this mantra, especially the hour before sunset, is a very powerful time for you to be connecting with the energy that helps facilitate the removal of these, the clearing of this particular energy, karma, beliefs, habits, all the things you really want to let go of. And just asking for this habit or this thought to be uprooted from you. And another thing you might want to do on these days is kind of write down what those look like. What are those habits? What are those thoughts that are plaguing you, the belief systems that have been holding you back, and asking the divine to remove them for you. So that's the 13th moon. And that happens on the 14th. And then that, like I said, it's 2 days before the new moon. So this particular new moon is happening on the 16th. And it actually starts on the 15th in the US and goes through the morning of the 16th. And the new moon again, so that your evening time of the moons is the most powerful. So the 15th evening is when you're going to get the most energy for the new moon. And this is where you want to go inward and reflect, let a deep meditation happen. Remember, the mind is less active on this day. So going inward, reflecting, releasing, continuing to release what it is you don't, you no longer want because it's holding you back, which is perfect in preparation for the next day, because after the new moon ends, which happens to be in the morning time, it happens like afternoon in the US, then we move into the first phase of the waxing moon. So the growth again. Now we have 15 days that go towards the full moon. Remember, the abundance cycle. But this month, it's even more special because that marks the start of what's called the 9 nights of the goddess, or Navaratri. This is in Hindu mythology or religion, when it's known when the goddesses come in a very fierce form to the earth plane and destroy negativity and destroy evil. So they come with their weaponry. They're not just the beautiful, peaceful goddesses that we typically see in pictures with smile and gentle energy and blessings. No, these are the fierce, badass goddesses with weapons and fire and like wrath, because they're coming to the earth because they know the evil, the demonic activity, the negativity that plagues us in many different ways, and they want to stop that. So we are entrusting them with our life, in the sense of like asking them for this support, asking them for this help. We want them to come and do this. We want them to save humanity. We want them to help us remove negativity from our own consciousness. Now, in those reflective days prior, maybe the 13th moon and the new moon, maybe you really found something you want them to help you to fully and permanently remove. This is the time, because this power time happens just once per year. Happens twice, but the most powerful time is this time. It's the fall. And so you really want to give it your all. Like this is the time. It's kind of like when we talked about Ganesha's birthday, like that is the one time. This is the one most powerful time of the whole year for the goddess. And this is where you don't want to miss. So that those days prior, reflecting, writing them down, maybe burning those papers to help you to remove a little bit more of what's holding you back. And the goddess will help to do this. The goddess will help deeply remove what it is you want to have extinguished from the soul, from the body, the mind, in your life. So how the 9 nights go is that the first 3 nights, so in the US, we're starting on the evening of the 16th, is dedicated to Durga. Now, she's a fierce form of Parvati. Remember, Parvati, I mentioned, is the one who she's for love, the goddess for love, but she's also the goddess for removing ignorance, removing things from us that don't serve us. So first 3 nights, she's coming in, she's clearing out, like she is just doing her job. And this is where we want to like ask her to be fully helping do this for us. The next 3 nights are Lakshmi. Now Lakshmi's coming in and she's removing, now this is the fierce form of Lakshmi called Mahalakshmi. She's coming in and she's removing poverty and scarcity and limiting beliefs, all the things in our mind, in our body, in our life, keeping us from prosperity. Where Durga is taking the role of really removing any negativity from our life, negative people, ignorance in our mind, things that just are plaguing us and holding us back. So it's Durga, first 3 nights, Lakshmi, the next 3 nights, and then Saraswati, who's the goddess of wisdom and creation. And she is going to remove more ignorance. She's going to clean up our consciousness to make it more pristine. It is with consciousness that we create. It is with consciousness that we create. And if we're plugged up and plugged up with all of this stuff that just doesn't serve us, we can't create, right? We know that, or we're creating in a bad way. So Saraswati coming in to clean up all of our ignorance, all of our negativity, and give us higher wisdom, higher sense of self, high self-esteem. And on the 10th night, it's called the night of victory. It is when Chandi, or the most fierce goddess, comes and does the cleanup, right? Like she's just like, anything that's left, I'm coming in. And it's called the Night of Victory because at that point, the goddess is declaring victory over evil, having destroyed the demons and really cleaning things up for us in the earth plane. So we want to give honor to all of these particular goddesses because they're coming at their own time to do their own type of work on our behalf. So we don't have to, but if we give them more energy of ours, more time, more sacrifice of offerings or whatever it is that we want to do to pay homage, to honor, to worship these goddesses, we get more blessings that way. This is where the integration of the blessings happen through our participation. So after this session, this talk, I'll tell you about how the participation works. So that's the 9 nights and really the 10th night of Navaratri. Now, during those times, we also have remember the layered power times. So on the 18th, really the evening, all the way through the 19th, is remember the star for Anuradha. This is Lakshmi's star day, her birth star day. It's also the birth star of Vishwamitra, who gave us Brzee. So this particular star day every month is very useful because we have more access. Remember, the energy, the qualities of that particular star are more present. So we have more access to the energies for Lakshmi and Vishwamitra on Anuradha Day. And that really is happening on the 19th of October, which happens to be the first night of Lakshmi in Navaratri. So the alignment is really, really perfect. Then we have the 11th moon, which falls on the evening of the Night of Victory. So again, really powerful times overlapping here. And then it rules all day on the 26th. Then we have another Pradosham, 13th moon, happening on the 28th. And then the full moon is beginning on the it begins the morning of the 30th and ends on the 31st. So if you see some places where the calendar may have it on the 30th or the 31st, it spans both days. So either way, you really can take advantage of the energy on both of those days. Happens to be Halloween in the United States. So that's so remember, we're working after the new moon, we're working up to the full moon. We have all of the 9 nights, 10 nights of the goddess throughout that time, and then we move to the culmination, the fullness of our full moon, which is again all the prosperity, all the abundance coming to fruition at that time. So those are the time periods that I wanted to just help you tune into for October. Now, how to use them. So when these power times arise, you want to do more of the practice that is aligned with that particular time that will help facilitate that whatever you want to produce. And so when it's 13th moon, I already gave you the Brzee or Tir Nilakanta mantra, rolling limes and lemons, doing those techniques, or just chanting, especially the hour before sunset on that particular day. Now, when it's other times, when it's the 11th moon, Anuradha star, full moons, go deeper into your Shreem Brzee practice. Chant more. Write Shreem Brzee more. Dr. Pillai once told us to write Shreem Brzee 1,008 times on the full moon days. So that could be an exercise that you do. It's very powerful, and it takes a commitment. And so the goddess, the energies, when we put our energy in, like a sacrifice, we get something back. And the gods and goddesses, the archetypes, the angels, the saints, the siddhas, all of these beings around us, they see that. It's kind of like Santa Claus. He knows it's happening. It's not just, you're not just doing it and you're not getting any kind of credit for it. But don't do it just to get credit. Do it also because you want to and because there's love around this. So doing extra practice, writing the mantra, chanting more of the mantra, doing a longer meditation, maybe do some rituals. We've taught all these variety of things throughout this channel. So that's what to do on those particular power days for Shreem Brzee. Now, for the 9 nights of the goddess, what Pillai Center has done is to give you everyday chanting. So we want you to be prepared. We want you to, we want you to be prepared for this time period where we have today until the 25th of October. We're doing daily live chanting calls with Pillai Center teachers. So you can join those on Pillai Center Practice YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, so every time we go live, you get notified. And they are including chanting to those 3 goddesses that I mentioned, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, in preparation for Navaratri, which is coming up. It's happening up until Navaratri and including Navaratri. So you won't miss a thing. You'll be able to take advantage of having access to these goddess mantras and live interactions with the teachers, Q&A, announcements, all of that for the full 25 days. Also, Dr. Pillai he did a free webinar last Sunday. He's doing another one this week, and I want you to tune into that. It's 11 a.m. Pacific on the link below. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm taking some warm water. When I talk for long periods of time, this happens. So, Dr. Pillai's webinar, he did one last weekend. You can watch that. It was fabulous. He's doing another one this weekend, October 4th. Also in the link, at the same link where you can see the daily chanting happening. I'm hosting tonight's daily chanting. Sucharita did last night. Every day every month, every different times throughout the month, there's different teachers hosting. So tune in and see who it is and just enjoy, really enjoy and pull in this goddess energy. Dr. Pillai also announced a new program that he's doing for Navaratri this year, and that includes new goddesses. Mother Mary, which he's never done a program for before. Varahi, he has talked about Varahi in the past, but he said she's very much present. So he wants to pull her in and give us even more blessings from her. And Bala Tripura Sundari, which is also a new goddess that he hasn't talked about except for in very exclusive in-person sessions, like in India. So we have these beautiful goddesses that he is blessing us with, and you can enroll, and that's a paid program. So you can enroll in that one. When you enroll in the program, you get coupon codes for the remedies. So I love remedies. I always perform remedies. Pillai Center is hosting a set of rituals being done, ceremonies, rituals, remedies, we're interchanging that word, because they're being performed on your behalf by a priest, by specialists. I love them. I really feel the difference when I get them done for me. And those are happening through the 9 nights and beyond. I think there's some special programs happening, but you can check those out. And you get up to 30% off when you enroll. When you enroll in the program itself, you get up to 30% off in the remedies. So we're really helping you to complement both the program and the remedy together. So what else is going on at Pillai Center? I think that is all that I have to talk about today. Tune into the live sessions every night. They're 6 p.m. Pacific time, or watch the recording. Tune into Dr. Pillai on October 4th. And join the program, join the paid program if that's in your budget. If it's not in your budget, do all the free stuff that we're offering. Pillai Center, through this whole pandemic, has been engaging more with the audience than ever before. We have more live free sessions than we have ever had, and we hope that it makes a difference for you. We know that stress can contribute to health problems, and we want to help you to remove as much stress as possible. And we do that through these group chanting, community engagement, and ways that you can really just help benefit your mind, body, and spirit through these times that are hard. And we have the goddess coming, so we have that going for us. So now I'll take some questions in chat. Elizabeth, is Mother Mary included in the 9 nights course? Yes, she is. That's so exciting to me because he's never done a teaching on Mother Mary, and now he is. So yes, Mother Mary is in the main. He's talking about Mother Mary, Varahi, and Bala. So those 3 goddesses are part of the foundational, or what we're calling essential program for Navaratri. There's a question that says, why should I give my powers to others? No one has ever told you. I've never told you to give your powers to others. So I don't understand the question. I would not give my powers to others. Any other questions? There's a question about Revati. I'm not going to get into the details of all the stars, but Revati is the last star. So sweet. Kind of go through all of these 27, and they all have unique qualities. Dr. Pillai actually just did a video about, I think he mentioned Jesus's birth star and what that means. So these stars really have very interesting qualities about them, and when we tune into them, we receive blessings from those qualities of that star. You should also find out what your star is, because on your star day, you should do some extra meditation, maybe some rituals, anything that helps boost your own sense of self and align you with that divinity of the star. Why is Navaratri important? I think I just answered that. Navaratri is the time when the goddesses come to the earth plane and they're removing negativity. They're destroying negativity and demons and evil. And we want to worship them in some way. We want to do a ritual or remedy. We want to participate in chanting, kind of give them our time and energy so that they reciprocate and that they give us blessings. The question is, free chanting is twice a day or once? It's once a day, 6 p.m. Pacific time, every day, from now until October 25th. I'm in financial problems, how to get out. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. So if you have financial problems, chant Shreem Brzee with love and devotion and happiness, not just because you want the ends to the mean. Like if you're just chanting just to have financial blessings, it's okay to do that. But I personally feel you'll have more benefit if you approach it with love and happiness and focusing not on the problem, but on the solution, on the result. Amika said, yes, we're also thankful and grateful for the Pillai Center and staff. You guys have been absolutely fabulous during the pandemic, each and every one of you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's what we live for. Do they need our worship to give blessings? Yes, they do. It's kind of like if you have a really wealthy friend, do you think that person is just going to maybe drop some wealth on you? Or maybe if you were friends, maybe I'm say associate. Let's say if you have a wealthy associate, if you're friends with them, you keep in touch with them, and you get together, and they enjoy your presence, and you enjoy their presence. Maybe one day they'll give you something that you need. The gods and goddesses are similar. If they're just over there on the sideline, and you're not talking to them, you're not engaging in them, you're not paying attention to them, are they going to just drop blessings over on you? Probably not. They might if you've had like past life experiences and you have a connection with them anyway. But the more we engage with the gods and goddesses, the more reciprocation we receive from them. It's just a reciprocal relationship. Ethel, I think Babaji said that Jesus' birth star was Uttara Bhadrapada. But don't quote me on that. There's a recent video on Facebook you can check out. Why do I need someone to drop wealth on me? You don't. Okay, Ashul is asking, it's very difficult for me to ask my employer to increase my salary. What should I do? You can hold it in your mind. You can use the intention. So if you can't or don't want to physically ask, you can, one, pray for the courage to do what is necessary, and two, hold the intention of what it is you want to manifest. A lot of times, without even having to physically do it, if we hold the intention and know what we want, pray on that, and feel that it is completely done for us already, that will happen. But you need to be 100% sure that it is already happening for you. 100% sure. You already have the salary. This is what it is. This is how you feel when you have it. Allow yourself to receive those blessings and to just be inside of and feel the energy of it already happening, and use Shreem Brzee to empower it. Whenever I've manifested, I've done so because I really felt like it was done. It was just already finished. I felt 100% complete that this was happening. I meditated on it, prayed on it, did Shreem Brzee, and it would come to fruition. I mean, it's not always all so easy because the battle is internal. If you have your own doubts, that's what will stop you. So if you just say, oh, please, I really want this new job, or I want this salary increase, that'll help. But if you feel in your heart and your soul, like 100%, it is already happening, then it'll happen faster. If you have those doubts, it'll happen slower until those doubts get resolved. That is why manifestation is an inside job all the way. When we are doing the Shreem Brzee meditation, which color of light we have to visualize in our mind? Is it pure white or golden light or violet? All of those. So Dr. Pillai has mentioned using like a deep purple eggplant type of color for Lakshmi. He's also mentioned pink. He's also mentioned gold. So those are the types of colors that you can imagine when you're doing the meditation. The next full moon is the end of the month. The new moon is on the 16th, the 15th through the 16th, and the full moon is the 30th through the 31st. Is Sri Chakra related to Shreem Brzee? Yes, in the sense that Sri Chakra has all the goddesses in it. So it has Parvati, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and 60 others, right? So there's all the goddesses are in the Sri Chakra. So you can do Shreem Brzee practice to a Sri Chakra if you have that and you don't have the Shreem Brzee yantra. Any other questions? I have been meditating for 3 months now. I'm not able to visualize any special technique required. I am regularly doing the Tarpanam and lime rolling. That's great. So I know that you've been in the Wealth Actualization Program, Captain Rajesh, and so I know that you've been doing your practices, which is great. So those of you who've been doing your practices and you're still not able to visualize, it doesn't have to be a visual. People are different. Sometimes they hear things. Sometimes they smell things. Sometimes they can see things with their mind's eye. Sometimes you can't do any of that. What I do is I feel it. If I can't visually see it, I try my best to visualize, but mostly I feel, and everyone can feel. So if you're like, just imagine like you're with your grandchildren, or you're in the park, or you're at a party, or like whatever excites you, makes you feel good. Tap into the feeling of feeling good. Maybe it's your spouse or your parents, or something that has you feel good. Tap into that, and then you feel, right? And where it is, where are those sensations? Typically it's in the heart. Typically you're feeling like an explosive energy. You're feeling love. You're feeling joy. You're feeling excitement. Now think of what it is you want to manifest. Think of what it is you want to manifest and have it already be done. It's already completed. The end result is done. And in your mind, you're just feeling into what that is. Oh my gosh, I have this new job. It feels like I'm on top of the world. I feel empowered. I feel excited. I feel prosperous. I feel freedom around it. Tap into that. Doesn't matter if you can't visually see it. There's a question, can I manifest a partner? Absolutely. Absolutely. Same technique. If you want a partner, you visualize the type of person, what type of relationship you want to be in, what it feels like to be in a particular relationship. I gave a technique to my sister many, many years ago, and she was able to manifest a partner that came into her life within a few weeks of the technique that she gave, or that I gave. And that is actually in Pillai Center's Personal Transformation Program, month 7. So if you want to get that, that's for the attracting a relationship. The whole technique is in there. Pradoshnam can be done at any time, or it has to be done 1 to 2 hours before sunset. It can be done anytime, but the most potent time is to do it 1 to 1.5 hours before sunset. So I always do it that time because why? Unless I'm like traveling or cannot get to, my rituals and things like that, I always do it an hour before sunset. Should we say the chant of Ganesha before we do Shreem Brzee? You can. You don't have to, but you can. It helps. It helps. Ganesha likes it. Do women manifest faster than men? Not necessarily, but this is a good point you bring up. Manifestation power is through the feminine energy. Dr. Pillai mentioned this last week on the webinar. He'll talk probably more about it this week. The goddess is the feminine energy. It happens, and the feminine energy is present in both male and female. That is the energy of which manifests. So if you're a man and you're tuning into the goddess and feminine energy for manifestation, that's fine. That's great. It doesn't mean you're manifesting faster, or you don't have to be a man or a woman to be manifesting faster or slower. You just have to be tapping in the ability to tap into the divine feminine and the goddess energy in order to manifest faster. Who is the most powerful goddess? Well, probably a lot of goddesses would argue over, who that is. I know I can't say for sure. Dr. Pillai has a variety of goddesses he talks about, and Lalita Tripura Sundari, my understanding is she's the culmination of all the goddesses. She could be considered the most powerful, but there's many, many. Other questions, comments? All right, looks like that's it. Which movies or books do you recommend for spiritual practices? I'm really bad at that because I don't read a lot of books, but Dr. Pillai does suggest several. And we actually have a Amazon page that, let me get this for you, gives the books that he has mentioned, and here it is. You can go shop there. All right, so welcome to October. Super powerful month. I hope that you make the most of it. I hope that you join the free live chanting sessions. I hope you join Dr. Pillai's webinar. I hope you join the program. I hope you really just maximize this month. We've been so lucky to have such powerful months back to back. We had August, September, October. November will also be another powerful month, but for a different reason. We'll get to that later. Right now, just enjoy the goddess time. Enjoy this time. Learn about her. Immerse yourself in her. Enjoy her, and just let her blessings wash over you. I will see you tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time for night 2 of the goddess chanting. And I also will see you on Sunday for the webinar with Dr. Pillai at 11 a.m. Namaste, wishing you immense goddess blessings.